Hi, it's Kana, and it's time to update you on my Pan Those Eyeshadows. I have been slacking, just gonna say. I have not been using my Pan That palette, Pan Those Eyeshadows very much this month at all. I haven't worn makeup as much, and I just needed a break from those shadows. That being said, I just have been playing with other things and enjoying my eyeshadow palettes, so I needed to. It needed to happen. So I'm not sorry. It is what it is. But I do want to update you. I do have some progress, even though. So let's do that. And then also I want to go ahead and let y'all know what I'm doing to change things up, because if you've watched my other videos, I'll link them for this project. I have grown a little weary of these shadows. I'm a little tired of using them all the time, hence the break that I took, and I wanted to find a new way to make it work. So we'll just go ahead and touch on that first, and then we'll do the update. So the first problem I had was that I have these matte shadows, like these ones here, and these shadows are just very, very hard to pan. I get kind of discouraged because of that. So I let them sit because I'm like, I'm never gonna hit pan on those. So that was problem number one. So I decided that I wanna hit pan or use it 15 times. Now I know other people have their goals set higher, like 30, 25, 20. For me, that's just not as reasonable. So I'm gonna go with 15. For me, that's very reasonable. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I don't wear makeup every day. Where am I going? I'm trapped in my house for like a year and a half now, so that's fine. But I mean, almost. Like a year and 3 months. Anyway, I don't go anywhere until like 1 week from today. I will be able to leave my house. So yeah, I just don't wear a ton of makeup. I do like to do it for myself, but not every day. So anyway, I digress. The point is, I want to go ahead and either hit pan on an eyeshadow, or if I want to roll it out after 15 uses, I may. That's like my out. So I need it. I really do. I need to keep this project exciting and fun. That is the point for me of doing these projects. So yeah, I think that's gonna work. So problem number two is eyeshadow palettes. I love my eyeshadow palettes. As I said, I have a lot of them, and therefore a lot of them look very new. So it's really hard for me to pan one eyeshadow in a whole palette of new shades, because it's like weird, you know, to not have them all kind of being used organically. So I don't really love that idea. It might be different with some palettes than others, you know, but for the time being, what I've decided to do to solve that issue, and I was watching DaLin, and she did this outward processing, so I'll link her below. But anyway, she did this where she decided to just use the whole palette a certain amount of times, and I think she said 25 or something like that. But for me, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make it so that if I get a shadow that's in a palette like this, which I did, it's this one here. But if I do, I can either choose to hit pan on that, use it 15 times, or use the entire palette 20 times. And if I choose to use the entire palette 20 times, I have to actually use every shade in the palette in order to roll it back out. And that's not going to be a problem, as long as I know that, right? Because like I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've used like 9 or 10 out of here already, so half of it. If I knew that I was trying to use all of them, it would have used more of them. So that's cool. So yeah, hit pan, use it 15 times, or use the entire palette 20 times and use every shade in the palette. So that's what I'm going to do to solve the second problem, because I guess I didn't really explain why. Like for me, palette, like my palette, I love my palettes, and I don't want, I don't know, it just gives me kind of anxiety to overuse the one shade and not use the whole palette. And I just feel like I want to use the whole palette. A lot of the times I just want to use the palette. So that's what we're going to do. Long story short, that's it. So these are the rule changes. I'm very excited about it. It's kind of given me a little more push to get into this. So let me go ahead and update you because I do have some news. So we'll start with that. So the first shadow I have here is the Melt. This is the Crush eyeshadow from the Baby Girl stack. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I used this 16 times, and on the 16th time I hit pan. Now I knew I was going to hit pan on this because I was too close to give up. So that's what I did. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Can you? So it's hard for me to tell if you guys can see that from there, but hopefully you can see that there's a little tiny pan in the middle there. These are pretty deep, which I figured. But yeah, I get to roll another shadow in for this, so that is so exciting. So I use this app called Counter. That's what it looks like. You have different colors for different projects if you want, and that's what I did. But anyway, I just tally every time I use it. So the next one on here is Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. So that's what that looks like. It's this really pretty, like warm brown shade. Can you see that it's finally starting to get a dip in there? Like, so excited about that. So I have used this 11 times. Given the fact that there's so much product in here and it's very hard to even like make that little dip, that took 11 times. And this wasn't brand new when I started using it. Like I've used it several times before that. So yeah, that's 11 in there. Cat hair. So yeah, I've used that 11 times and that is all the progress. So I think I'm probably going to go ahead and use this 4 more times and roll it out. So this will probably be calling done next time. So I'll put that back. And the next shadow that I used 11 times also is Spanked from Huda, the new nudes palette. It looks like this. But yeah, it's this one here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I used 11 times and you should be able to see that there is some progress going on in there. And the one next to it. I've used several of these shades, so there's that. But I used this 11 times. Now, these are a lot softer than the Makeup Geek, and I still don't know. Like, there's a pretty good dent in there. You know, it's a lot better than that. But I don't know. I have used several of these shades, so I may choose to just use the palette 20 times and use every shade in here. But I think I'm still going to continue to use that shade. I do enjoy it. But yeah, next was Divina Patina. It's this single shade. It's green. This one here. It's got, you can see that the dip is forming in there as well, finally. So that's exciting. This one is not as hardly pressed as the Makeup Geek one, but it's still pretty in there. Like, it's taken me a while to get that. I've used it 8 times and you can definitely tell, so I'm happy about that. But this one I'm just gonna keep working on. Oh, this is the one I rolled out. It's Melt Crush from the Baby Girl stack. And then so far these are the ones that are staying in. We have Cocoa Bear from Makeup Geek, Spanked from the Huda Beauty New Nudes, Patina from Divina. Okay, and then we have the Huda Rich Nude Palette. It is the shade number 8 in the palette, which is this one right here. And I don't know if you're even going to be able to tell that I've put my brush in it, but I definitely have. So I've been using it, and I've been using the one next to it, so there's that. But let me swatch that one for you. These blend away. The Huda shadows always, to me, feel like they don't ever really build up, you know? Which I guess is fine, but I guess I'm figuring out that I don't particularly love that about them. But there's a lot of similarity in here, so I would like to roll something completely different today. But I have used this one 5 times. So yeah, I've used this shade 5 times. It's going to be here for a little while. So there's that. All right, so here is what we have. Let me get cleaned up real quick. Oh, I forgot. I had the pigment, the Pan That Pigment that I'm kind of doing with this, and this is the Shroud Cosmetics Retrograde Glitter that I rolled last time. And y'all, I meant to use this today, but I just wanted to use something that didn't really go with it, so I didn't. Not sorry, I like this look a lot, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep this in for another month because I only used it 2 times, and glitters have a rule of 3 uses. So this is staying in, but that's no big deal. I love it. So that was 2, so it needs 1 more. That should be easy, but that's no big deal. It just, I'm using them. That's the point. So let me get in here and roll. Okay, so I have it set up for 1 to 1,196. There might be, if it rolls a palette that I'm considering decluttering, I might switch it up. We'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and randomize. 812. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there's a blast from the past. It's going to be the Fenty Beauty Galaxy palette, and it's Midnight Bolt. Okay, so this is it. It's from the very first Fenty release. It's gorgeous. The packaging is gorgeous. It's like glitter on. It's so cute. Love it. And let me just get the palette out. Palette is also gorgeous. Probably has fingerprints on it though, usually. But there it is. It's like a gem. I freaking love it. Anyway, Midnight Bowl is gonna be, I know I've touched this palette, but I honestly can't tell that I have. That's what that looks like. I think this is Midnight Bolt. Let me check. Yeah, it's this blue shade right here, which I'm not super excited about. I'm not a blue shadow person, but hey, let's see, right? Let me go ahead and swatch it. Let's see. I'm just gonna put it right here. There it is. Okay. It's interesting. That's really pretty. Yeah, it'll go nicely with some of these, I think, actually, if I can get creative with it. So anyway, yeah, blue is not my favorite. I started wearing makeup in the 80s, and I didn't even wear blue then. I'm really not a fan of blue. So, for eyeshadow, but I do like it sometimes. I'm gonna definitely be doing some smoky looks with that one. That's what I'm gonna tell you. So anyway, that's gonna wrap up my update. I'm actually kind of excited to even just have this palette out because I know I can use some of the other shades in there too. So that's exciting. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. I'm very excited. Let me know what you think of my new rules and you know, how you think that's gonna work out, what you think of my color story here. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or anything, leave them down below. I love talking to you guys, and I will see y'all later. Bye.